Glamour Prestige presents Virtual Learning Party every Tuesday and Thursday starting March 24th, 2020 for students in grades 3 through 6, reading and English only.
Your hosts are Dr. Jacqueline Walker and Velvet Smith, who are ready to turn up for learning. Hey!
So you actually have your same SOLs from Tuesday. We just want to review them with you. So for third grade, 3.5, the student will read and demonstrate comprehension of fictional text, literary nonfiction, and poetry. Summarize plot events, identify the conflict and resolution, both of which you've already done. So today we're focusing on identifying the theme, and that is for grades 3 and 4.
Okay, so for grade 5, you already did the discussing the impact of setting on plot development and explaining the resolution of conflict. And today we're going to do 5.5D, identify theme. And for 6th grade, we're doing identifying the elements of narrative structure, including setting, character, plot, conflict, and today's topic of theme.
So our I can identify the theme with 100% accuracy with the help of mentor text, videos, and graphic organizers. Hey guys, today is Thursday, April the 9th, and we're so glad to have you back today. So on Tuesday, we talked about plot, but today our lesson is about theme, and Ms. Smith is going to give you a little bit more information about it.
So theme is the lesson that the character learns in the story. So sit back and listen to this little brain pop video that's going to tell you a little more about theme.
Enjoy this movie, then visit brainpop.com for much more. I'll take the R2 unit. Come on, Moby, how many different takes do you need? No, I don't want to switch roles. Dear Tim and Moby, how do I figure out the theme of a story? And why is finding the theme so important anyway? From Bob A. Thanks for the questions, Bob. A theme is a central message or idea woven into the action of a story. Themes give a story meaning by linking the fictional world with our own. They comment on issues from our everyday lives and from the wider culture. They're a huge part of what makes films and literature so fascinating. If you've ever read a fable, you already know a simple type of theme. Fables always include a moral, a lesson about life. Take the tortoise and the hare. The hare is always bragging about how fast he is, so the tortoise challenges him to a race. The hare is so confident, he stops to take a nap halfway through. Slowly, but surely, the tortoise passes the hare and wins. It might seem like the story is all about speed and running. The larger message is that patience and determination pay off. The race is used to communicate a lesson that can be applied to real life. Themes are usually more subtle in movies and novels. It's easy to be wowed by spaceships, aliens, and princesses, and those are essential parts of the Star Wars story. But to find the themes, we have to read between the lines. Well, not literally. We have to look for patterns or ideas that come up frequently. The repetition of a word or phrase is a good sign you're onto a theme. We call those recurring words or images motifs. The Force is one big motif in Star Wars. We learn more about its symbolic meaning each time it's mentioned. Well, like at the beginning, the Force seems to be just a magical power. But over the course of the series, we learn that it's much more than that. It's a universal energy that connects all living things, and a spiritual balance between light and darkness. Themes are often set up as pairs of opposing ideas, like with the Force. At its most basic level, it represents the struggle between good and evil, but it's also about nature versus technology, the tension between instinct and logic, or the choice between freedom and destiny. And they sound complicated, but those themes are all right there in the movie. We find them by analyzing the story elements. For example, we can examine lines of dialogue, what the characters say. Like when Darth Vader calls the Death Star a technological terror. Then he says the colossal weapon is nothing compared to the power of the Force. His comments set up technology and nature as opposing ideas. Plot, the action in a story, is another great place to hunt for themes. Okay, Moby-Wan, I will use the Force. I will trust my intuition. We did it, R2. We destroyed the Death Star. Right, Luke is successful because he relies on the Force. His natural instincts are victorious over destructive technology. Well, in a great story, all the elements work together to support the themes. Look at the settings in Star Wars, where the action takes place. The Death Star is massive and spotless. Like a lot of advanced technology, it feels sinister and cold. Compare that with the Rebels' ships. They look and feel lived in, like a home. Even the costumes support that contrast. Stormtroopers wear masks, and their uniforms are totally rigid. They look more like machines than people. Compare that to the Rebel outfits, what we good guys wear. Our clothing is loose, comfy, and made of organic materials. Well, appearance is a key part of characterization. That's all the ways a character is portrayed, how he looks, speaks, thinks, and acts. Remember when we first meet Moby-Wan? He lives a simple life, not surrounded by gizmos and gadgets. He's a respected Jedi Master, but unlike the bad guys, he's humble and has a sense of humor. Yeah, those themes really resonate in today's high-tech world. Anyway, let's get this place cleaned up. Dad's gonna be home soon. What? You are my father? No! 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 Visit us at brainpop.com for more on this topic and hundreds of others. You'll find movies, games, quizzes, and activities. Learn more about the difference BrainPop can make.
Hey guys, we really hope you loved that Brain Pop video about theme. I really liked that video, Miss Smith. What about you?
Yes, I really enjoyed it. It really told us a lot about the theme.
So now, as we do every week or every time you meet with us, we always do a deeper dig and look into the skill for each week that we meet. So what is the theme? The theme of a story is the underlying message in the story. Many times, people confuse the main idea or the summary of a story with the theme of a story or passage. The main idea is a short summary of the events, while the theme is an inference that relates to the underlying message or lesson in a story. The theme is not directly stated, but it is implied. The reader must think about the character's experiences and choices to infer the theme of the story.
When a reader is attempting to infer the theme, it is helpful to ask, what is the big idea in this story? What larger message is the author trying to convey? And what did the author want the reader to understand?
Now, guys, it is time to practice. So what I'm going to need you to do is go ahead and take out this sheet if you haven't printed out. If you don't have it printed out, I need you to take out your sheet of notebook paper and then write down your answer choice as we go over them. So let's see. Hannah ate her lunch alone again. She could see the other girls talking and laughing on the other side of the room. She wished she had not been mean to Jenna. Her mom had been right. It really was important to be kind.
On which story element does the passage most focus? Is it A, setting, B, resolution, C, conflict, or D, theme. So we're going to get Dr. Walker to help us out with this question to see what is the story element this passage is focusing on.
Okay, so like we've been doing each week, we want to use our test taking strategies. So we want to use the test taking strategy of 50-50 and go ahead and take off 2 that we know aren't right. So let's see. As I go back and look at the answer choices and I look at the passage, I think the 2 that I want to take off, the first one I want to take off is a setting, because I really don't see too much information as it relates to the setting, except for that they're in a lunchroom. The other one that I want to take off, I think, is resolution, because the resolution is always the solution to a problem, which I see a problem there, but I don't think it has been solved. So I have conflict C or theme D. So, let's see. As I go back and look, I see where it says that Hannah ate her lunch alone. She could see the other girls talking and laughing on the other side of the lunchroom. She wished she hadn't been mean to Jenna. And her mom was right that it really was important to be kind. So it seems like that maybe she had been mean and now she's all alone. And she's thinking about the words from her mom, which is an underlying message that she needed to be kind, or it was important to be kind. So, Ms. Smith, I think I'm going with D, theme.
And Dr. Walker, you are absolutely correct. This passage does focus on theme, and that underlying theme is how important it is to be kind or to spread kindness.
Okay, now we're going to do a harder one. So if you have this sheet printed out, you can go ahead and take out this sheet, and you can take out the answer choices sheet that goes along with this, because as soon as we finish reading this, we're going to go straight into our guided practice of helping you to understand this. So Ms. Smith and I are going to split this passage. Choose the best theme for this passage. I don't want a new baby brother, whined Kim. Honey, you don't have a choice. He will be here next month, Mom said, rubbing her big belly. Kim couldn't believe that she would have to be around a loud, slobbery baby. Plus, the thought of sharing anything, especially attention from her mom and dad, with the new baby didn't sound fun at all.
You will be one of the most important people in his life, Mom exclaimed. He will need you to look out for him and to teach him new things. I guess that's true. I will be showing him a lot of new things. Maybe it won't be all that terrible having a little rug rat running around here, Kim replied with a sigh. Just don't expect me to change his diapers.
So let's see. Go ahead and take out your theme question sheet, and you should probably already have it out. So we want to look at the first question. It says, what word sums up the theme in this passage? Is it A, acceptance, B, loyalty, C, compassion, or D, hope? So if you want to go ahead and pause us to go ahead and answer that, you can, because on the next slide, we're going to give you the answer. But right before you pause, then Ms. Smith is going to read the second question.
All right, it says, which sentence describes the passage theme? Is A, anger can help you take responsibility for your behavior? New babies are just as loud as slobbery? Feeling important can help people accept change more easily, or hoping for a future with no siblings is always useless. So take the time to think about your 2 questions, and we're going to provide you the answers on the next screen.
Okay, there you have it. The word sums up the theme in that passage is acceptance. So, Ms. Smith, why do you feel like that A was the best answer choice?
I feel like A was the best answer choice because at the beginning of the passage, Kim was having no parts of that new baby. But then once her mom told her how she would be a good role model for the new baby, she started to accept the fact that she was going to have a little sibling.
Okay, which sentence describes the passage theme We picked C. Feeling important can help people accept change more easily. I think the reason why that would be the best answer is because mom started telling Kim that she would be one of the most important people in the new baby's life. So I felt like that Kim feeling important and really having a big part in the baby's life help her to accept the change more easily. So we hope you guys got these answers correct, and then we gave you the reasoning why these are the best answers. Hi guys, back again with your mentor text of the week, and this time it is a narrative nonfiction right here called Emmanuel's Dream. It is the true story of Emmanuel Yeboah by Lori Ann Thompson and Sean Qualis. And here is the back of it, if you can see it. And now I'm going to open it up so Miss Smith can read the top.
And it says, one person can change the world. In Ghana, West Africa, a baby boy was born. Two bright eyes blinked in the light. Two tiny fists opened and closed, but only one strong leg kicked. Here is the inspiring true story of Emmanuel Ofusu Yeboah, who cycled an incredible 400 miles across Ghana with only one strong leg to spread his powerful message. Disability does not mean inability.
That is so amazing. So now we're going to have a guest reader to read you this story.
Peace. How's it going? I'm Mr. Jones, and we are lit with literacy. Thank you for joining me today. I am excited about the story that I have for you today because in one word, it is inspirational. Our main character, Emmanuel, overcomes some odds that I don't think that most people would be able to, myself included. And so that's why I believe that this young man is an inspiration. An inspiration is someone who motivates us, who encourages us to be our best self. And I think Emmanuel does a great job. So, without any further ado, let's get to the story entitled Emmanuel's Dream, the true story of Emmanuel Ofusu Yeboah. Emmanuel's Dream, the true story of Emmanuel Ofusu Yeboah by Lori Ann Thompson and Sean Qualls. In Ghana, West Africa, a baby boy was born. Two bright eyes blinked in the light. Two healthy lungs let out a powerful cry. Two tiny fists opened and closed, but only one strong leg kicked. Most people thought he would be useless, or worse, a curse. His father left, never to return. But his mother had faith. Her name was Comfort, and she named her first child Emmanuel, meaning God is with us. As Emmanuel grew, Mama Comfort told him he could have anything, but he would have to get it for himself. He learned to crawl and hop, to fetch water and climb coconut trees. He even shined shoes to earn money. Most kids with disabilities couldn't go to school. Still, Emmanuel's mother carried him there until one day she said, "You are too heavy." From then on, Emmanuel hopped to school and back, 2 miles each way, on one leg, by himself. At first, nobody would play with him, so Emmanuel saved his money and bought something none of his classmates had. A brand new soccer ball. Of course he would share it, if he could play too. Lunging and spinning on crutches his grandmother had found for him and kicking the ball with his good left foot, Emmanuel earned their respect. His new friends sometimes used their lunch money to rent bikes. Would Emmanuel be able to join them? His friend Godwin pushed him fast so he could balance. Over and over again Emmanuel fell. Hard, but finally, he rode. When Emmanuel was 13, Mama Comfort got very sick. She could no longer sell vegetables at the market, and Emmanuel's sister and brother were too little to work. He would have to support them. Against his mother's wishes, Emmanuel snuck out and boarded a midnight train to the bustling city of Accra, 150 miles away, alone. He didn't know it then, but it would be 2 years before he saw his family again. Emmanuel arrived full of hope. There were so many people, but no one would hire him. Shopkeepers and restaurant owners told him to go out and beg like other disabled people did. Emmanuel refused. Finally, a food stand owner offered him a job and a place to live. When Emmanuel wasn't serving drinks, he kept busy shining shoes. He earned money and sent it home. One morning when Emmanuel went to buy shoe shining supplies, the shopkeeper thought he was there to beg and scolded him. Insulted, Emmanuel slammed his money down on the counter. The shopkeeper apologized, but Emmanuel would never forget. When Mama Comfort grew sicker, Emmanuel went home to be with her. From her bed on Christmas Eve, she told her son, "Be respectful, take care of your family, don't ever beg, and don't give up." By the next morning, Emmanuel's beloved mother was dead. He was heartbroken, but he knew her last words had been a gift. He would honor them by showing everyone that being disabled does not mean being unable. It was a big dream, but Emmanuel had a plan. Emmanuel had a sharp mind, a bold heart, and one strong leg. All he needed was a bike. At first, no one would help. They thought his plan to bicycle around Ghana was impossible. Then Emmanuel wrote to the Challenged Athletes Foundation all the way in San Diego, California. They sent him a bike, plus a helmet, shorts, socks, and gloves. Emmanuel started training for the long ride. He persuaded the king of his region to give him a royal blessing. He went door to door asking for additional support. Finally, he hired a taxi to follow him with drinking water, a camera, and his best friends. Then Emmanuel tied his right leg to the bike's frame, jammed his left foot into a flip-flop attached to the pedal, and rode. Emmanuel pedaled through the bustling city of Accra. He pedaled through the rainforest, over the hills, and across wide, muddy rivers. He pedaled past Odom forests and plantain farms and through the market city of Kumasi. He pedaled as trucks roared past on the narrow highways and wild animals stalked his thoughts. He pedaled through vast grasslands and into the ancient city of Tamale. He rode up, down, across, and around his city, proudly wearing the colors of its flag on a shirt printed with the words, "The Poso," or "The Disabled." Along the way, Emmanuel talked to those with physical challenges and those without, to poor farm workers and wealthy landowners, to religious leaders, government officials, and reporters. He wanted everyone to see him and his disability. He wanted everyone to hear him and his message. The farther Emmanuel rode, the more attention he got. Children cheered. Able-bodied adults ran or rode along with him. People with disabilities left their homes and came outside, some for the very first time. The young man once thought of as cursed was becoming a national hero. He completed his astounding journey, pedaling south to the sea and back up to Accra, nearly 400 miles in just 10 days. But Emmanuel's success goes even further than that. He proved that one leg is enough to do great things, and one person is enough to change the world. Emmanuel's Dream. The True Story of Emmanuel Ofosu Yeboah by Laurie Ann Thompson and Sean Qualls. Wow. Simply amazing. I never cease to be inspired by that story, no matter how many times I read it or how many times I hear it read. It's phenomenal. I hope that you were inspired too. I hope that reading about Emmanuel's journey and all of the odds that he overcame will give you encouragement and let you know that whatever you're dealing with in your life, you can overcome that as well. And more than just overcome it, you will be better on the other side. I think the moral for this story, for me anyway, was right here on the last page. But Emmanuel's success goes even further than that. He proved that one leg is enough to do great things, and one person is enough to change the world. I'm here to tell you today that you can be that one person to change the world. You have everything that you need, everything that you have, God gave it to you, and you are more than equipped to make an impact on this world. So, I say go forth and prosper and do great things. Thank you for joining me today on Lit with Literacy. I am Mr. Jones, the STEAM teacher, and I hope to see you again real soon for another reading of our stories.
So we're back. Emmanuel's dream. Wasn't that a powerful story of a person who didn't let his disability hold him back? I truly enjoyed this true story of Emmanuel. And I hope you were thinking about all of those story elements, conflict resolution, the plot and the sequence, and thinking about the possible underlying message or theme in this story as it relates to Emmanuel.
Okay, like we always do, we review the skill before we go into our independent practice. So theme. Theme is the overarching, or like we said, underlying message or lesson the author is trying to teach the character and the reader. It is usually a big idea.
All right, now we're getting ready to practice theme. So if you have this paper printed, we would like you to take it out. If you don't, you can draw this graphic organizer on a sheet of notebook paper.
So what we want you to do is that you're going to list something in each of the boxes that we have. So the big idea or topic, you can look down at the example of themes, and one of them actually will fit into that big idea or topic. The three boxes below, what the characters do or say to demonstrate this big idea, we want you to go back in the book and pull out exact information from the text. And when I say go back into the book, I mean to pause us and rewind and go back to the actual story of Emmanuel's dream and see what you can pull to fit into those boxes. And then lastly, the message you take from the story, which is the theme. So you can go ahead and pause us here, because when we come back, we will be sharing our answers.
Okay, here are our answers in our theme graphic organizer. So for the big idea or topic, we selected perseverance from the examples of themes below. We also selected 3 examples from the book that demonstrate perseverance. You may have selected 3 other examples because there are numerous examples in the book in where Emmanuel displayed perseverance. The first one we selected was Emmanuel hopped to school and back 2 miles each way on one leg by himself. Emmanuel played soccer at school with the other kids while on crutches. He kicked the ball with his good left foot. And Emmanuel rode a bike nearly 400 miles in 10 days with one foot. And then we put the message you take from the story, and we put you can do anything if you put your mind to it. And your message may be different because there are a lot of good messages or themes in this book, but we selected that one in order to represent perseverance.
Now it's time for our homework, guys. I'll be reading you the passage, and Ms. Smith will be reading the answers. Felix goes fishing. Felix was excited. He and his family were off on a 3-hour fishing expedition. The man leading the trip asked if any of the passengers had gone fishing before. Felix's 2 older brothers bragged they were great at fishing, even though they had never done it before. But Felix admitted that he didn't know how to fish. Honesty is the best policy. The man gave Felix lots of pointers. He showed Felix how to put bait on the hook. He showed him how to cast his fishing line. During the expedition, Felix's brother didn't catch any fish. Felix, however, caught 3 humongous sea bass. Felix, the young fisherman, really made a splash.
All right, so now it's time for our key questions. Cite text for all of the questions except number 4. So question number 1, theme. A sentence that states the main theme of the story is blank. Number 2, theme. Here's a sentence that shows how Felix was rewarded for telling the truth. Question number 3, fun find. This sentence tells how long the fishing trip lasted. Questions number 4 and 5 are additional questions just to help you with your reading skills. Question number 4, context clues. What do you think expedition means? A long nap, a big tent, a ground trip. Number 5, stretch. Why is honesty the best policy? Cite text to support your claim. Remember to let your parents submit your homework so you can be entered in a drawing to get several prizes.
Hey guys, we really hope that you enjoyed this week's lesson. On Tuesday, we did plot. Today, we did theme. But guess what? Next week is spring break. So we'll be taking a break just for 1 week. But when we come back, I need you to be pumped up and ready because we're going to have a lot of skills for you to do all the way up until the first week in June. So are you ready? You think they're ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, so we won't see you next week, but we will see you on the following week. And you know what? We may have a special treat for you guys that we may can give out to you during spring break. It's a special treat that we'll have for everybody. And for our visitors that live far away, don't worry. We'll mail it out to you if we get it during spring break. See you later.